it is 17. While for the expression 3 minus 5n, for the fifth term is minus 22. And for the eighth term is minus 37. It should be noted that from the formula for the sum, a case whereby last term is given, there is a technicality involved. Recall that the formula for the sum is n over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1d. A case whereby last term is incorporated, the last term, because you can be given the last term and you'll be asked to determine the sum or calculate the sum. If that is the case, since the last term is a plus n minus 1d, then that means it can be deduced from this formula. When we bring this down, then we'll have Sn is equal to n over 2 into a plus a makes up for that 2a plus n minus 1d. So in that situation, the whole of this is the last term that is given here. So definitely we can substitute L into the formula for this sum, and it will be Sn equals to n over 2 into a plus L. This is important and useful when the last term is not given, but this is of importance when the last term is given, because the last term is incorporated here. So it depends on the way the question is structured. If the question is structured on the last term, this formula will be used. But if the question is not structured on the last term, then this is the formula for the sum. Exercise. For each of the following, find 1. the next 3 terms, 2. the rule which gives the terms. We have A 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, dash dash. Then B, we have 1, 6, 11, 16, 21, 26, dash dash dash. Then C, we have 20, 10, 0, minus 10, minus 20. Then D, we have 1, 1 over 2, 1 over 4, 1 over 8, 1 over 16, 1 over 32. Since we are dealing with AP and the question asks us to calculate the successive terms and also asks us to give this a rule, we study the pattern and give the formula for the nth term. Solution. In the case A, it can be noted that the first term here is 2. A is 2. Then between successive terms, we have a common difference of 2, because when you add 2 to this, you have 4. When you add 2 to this, you have 6. When you add 2 to this, you have 8. Automatically, D is also 2. So since the question asks us to calculate the successive terms, then 12 plus 2 will be the first one, which is 14. The second one will be 14 plus 2, and that is 16. Then the third term will be 16 plus 2, and that is 18. So the three terms will now be 14, 16, and 18. And since the question asks us to look for the rule for this, it can be recalled that UN is equal to A plus N minus 1D. From the trend, from the successive term, we know that our A is the first term, which is 2, and our D is the common difference, which is 2. So substituting these two values into the formula, it will be noted that UN becomes A, which is 2, plus N, we don't know the number of terms, but we know the common difference to be 2. So when we evaluate this, we are going to have 2n minus 2. And here, this will be 2n plus 2 minus 2. And that gives us 2n. So the rule here is 2n. Then the next question, which is the B part, we have 1, 6, 11, 16, 21, 26. Automatically, when 5 is added to this, you have this. When 5 is added to this, you have this. When 5 is added to this, you have this. So automatically, it can be deduced from there that your A is 1 and your common difference is 5. So if you have to calculate the next 3 terms, the next 3 terms will be 26 plus 5, and that is 31. 31 plus 5, that is 36. 36 plus 5, that is 41. So therefore the next 3 terms will be 31, 36, and 41. So those terms will be the next 3 terms. And to deduce the rule, which you make use of the UN, which is the last term. UN is A plus N minus 1D. And since our A is 1, while our common difference is 5, so UN will now be A, 1 plus N minus 1. We don't know the number of terms, but we know the common difference. So the common difference is 5. So here, if we evaluate this, we have 1 plus 5n minus 5. And this will give us 5n. 1 minus 5 minus 4. 5n minus 4. So the rule for the A part is 2n, while the rule for the B part is 5n minus 4. So the C part, which is 20, 10, 0. Here it can be deduced also that if you subtract 10 from 20, you have 10. 10 from 10, 0. 0 minus 10, minus 10. Minus 10 minus 10, minus 20. So automatically, it can be deduced from the C part that our A is 20, while our D will be minus 10. So if you have to calculate the 3 successive terms, then it will be minus 20 minus 10, and that gives minus 30. Minus 30 minus 10, that gives us minus 40. Minus 40 minus 10, that gives us minus 50. So therefore the three consecutive terms will definitely be minus 30, minus 40, and minus 50. So if you are to determine the rule for this particular sequence, then it will be UN, which is equal to A plus n minus 1D, where m is the number of terms, A is the first term, and D is the common difference. So automatically from the sequence, we know that our A is 20, while our D is minus 10. So we substitute these two values into this formula. We have UN will now be A, 20 plus N, which is unknown, then D, which is minus 10. So if we do this, 20 plus, we open this, we evaluate this, and that gives us minus 10N plus 10. So, and this one will definitely be 20 minus 10N plus 10. Minus 10N. 20 plus 10, that gives 30 minus 10N. So this is the rule, which can also be simplified as 10 into 3 minus n. The D part is a GP and be treated under GP. Sequence and series. Find the first, third, and the 12th terms of the sequence whose nth term is 4n plus 3 and n squared plus 3. So the first one is 4n plus 3, while the second one is